A beautiful Sunday afternoon in St. Louis. The San Francisco Giants and the Cardinals, Game 3 of the weekend series. And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Cardinal Baseball. Jay Randolph with Rick Horton. Good to have you with us. Rick, Pedro Feliz, he's played in 2 games, and he's played very well.
He's off to a great start as a Cardinal, Jay. Since coming over from the Houston Astros, the Cardinals got him for his glove. Outstanding defensive third baseman, one of the top fielders in the National League over the past 3 or 4 years. Defensively, he's also produced some offense. 2 hits on Friday, 2 hits here yesterday, including the biggest hit, one of the biggest hits of the game, a triple off of Tim Lincecum.
The left-hander going today, Jaime Garcia for the Cardinals. And coming up, Frank Cusimano visits with Kyle McClellan.
Baseball fans, make your next game.
Kyle McClellan, who is really in a groove right now. Kyle, what's going right for you on the mound?
Just getting them to hit it at people. I guess that's the biggest thing. You're going to have your ups and downs in the bullpen, and you try to ride the highs and go out and keep doing what you're doing when you're successful.
Last 10 appearances, 11 strikeouts, 1 run. Tony La Russa just talked about your knockout curveball. You got to be pleased with the way you're throwing that pitch.
Yeah, I've been happy with it. And, like I said, it's just the thing in the bullpen is trying to be consistent and trying to do it over and over. And, I'm well rested right now. Arm feels good and everything. So I hope it continues for another month and a half.
You're not thinking about it now, but long term, the plans to be a starting pitcher, it's got to be in the back of your mind somewhere down the road.
That's something that seems to come up every spring. And I don't know. I don't know where they see me fitting in. I know this year Jaime's done an unbelievable job. Me and him are kind of going after it in spring training. And, I like what I do in the bullpen. And I like the late innings. I like coming in with the pressure. And so I don't know. Either way, I'd be all right with it.
The key is, does your wife like this facial hair?
No, she doesn't.
But you can't shave it, right?
No. I got some friends and stuff that they don't like it, but you got to go with what's working. It's one of those things, you got to keep your routine, You know, I wear the same cleats, same everything, you know, every day. So you got to keep going.
Congratulations on a good season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Kyle McClellan. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll profile the great Adam Wainwright. Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5 continues right after this. Young award winners in their history, Bob Gibson and Chris Carpenter. A third one may be in the making. His name, Adam Wainwright.
Rather, save something.
7 home runs. He swings over that changeup. Adam Wainwright.
If you think the competitive juices of Adam Wainwright end as soon as he leaves the mound, you're sadly mistaken. Let it be known, this man is a competition junkie.
I'm competing with my wife in the off-season on who can kill the biggest deer. And I'm competing with my buddies at home on who can cook the best ribs. I'm competing against all these guys in baseball. And I'm going home and I'm trying to beat people in ping pong and pool. It's just something that's in me to try to win. You know, it's I wouldn't say it's the most important thing, but it's something that I just don't do very many things that I'm not trying to be the best at.
He is the best at pitching. When you enter the weekend with the lowest earned run average in all of baseball, and you're in the top 5 of the National League in innings pitched and strikeouts, and there's not a pitcher in the game with more wins than your 17, well, you are the best.
Did you ever think you would get to this point where you're considered one of the best, if not the best pitchers in baseball? I mean, when you're throwing a baseball and growing up in Georgia, did you ever think you'd get to this point?
Only when I was very young, and then through the ranks, especially in the minor leagues, I never thought I would be like this. I never thought I would achieve some of the stuff I've already achieved. I never thought I'd win a World Series, and I certainly never thought I'd be in the Cy Young voting ballot at all, like I was last year and hopefully this year. But it just goes to show you, if you work hard and you believe in yourself, continue to trust your abilities, anything can happen.
And it doesn't hurt to have a knockout curveball either. Lou Brock ran, Stan Musial hit, and Adam Wainwright throws a curveball.
On for Ryan Howard.
Got him.
It is a devastating pitch.
Curveball that carved him up.
It's always in those guys' heads, you know, in the hitter's heads every time. You know, it could come 0-0, it could come 3-2. You know, I think they've seen and everybody's seen it before and knows how it's going to break. But as far as hitting it, it's a different story.
20 wins is the goal of every starting pitcher in the league. Wainwright is really not content with that one.
Well, 20 wins is great, but I would never set my mark at 20. I mean, I still have, I don't know how many, 7 starts left. And to say I want to win 20 is saying that I don't want to win 24. So I want to win all the rest of the starts I have, and I'm not limiting myself to 20, but it'd be special.
Wainwright has also seen up close and personal his fellow starting pitchers, Chris Carpenter, Kyle Loesch, and Brad Penny, break down and miss huge chunks of their careers because of injuries. He knows his success could be fleeting.
Any pitch could be my last pitch. And when I haven't been hurt bad, but when I hurt my finger in 08, you know, it really gave me a taste of what it's like to miss the game, what it's like to not have the game, and realize how important it is to me and how much I love to play baseball. When I missed 3 months with a stinging finger injury, and you know, I think I respect the grind of baseball a lot more for that. I think all these guys that have gone through injuries, Carp's won the comeback player of the year twice, and he says that's the worst award he could ever win because that means you got to be hurt first or not do good first. So, you know what? One thing I know is that our time on this world is finite. We're not promised anything tomorrow, and I just try to live my life in the present, never in the future.
And who has a better future than Adam Wainwright?
We hid cameras.
Baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By Commerce Bank. Want more in a banking relationship? Call, click, or come by Commerce Bank, member FDIC. And by Sunset Ford. Click and pick today, drive it home tomorrow. Visit sunset-ford.com. Redbirds taking the field here on just a sensational afternoon for baseball. Cardinals losing here on Friday evening 6-3 and winning 5-1 behind Carpenter last night. Old Glory, we bring you back from the old courthouse into the ballpark. Crowd still coming in. Let's take a look at this starting lineup this afternoon for the Giants of Bruce Bochy.
And a bit of a different lineup for the Giants today than we've seen the past couple of nights. Posey has been phenomenal. He's been hitting in the second spot as a rookie. Batting average at .344. There'll be a challenge for Jaime Garcia. And there's some power, not a lot of speed overall in this Giant lineup.
Well, they don't run much. They only have 46 stolen bases on the year. Jaime, his 23rd or 24th start. Lost to Milwaukee last Tuesday. His first loss of the season at San Francisco came on the 23rd of April. His 2.58 ERA ranks 6th in the National League. Felipe Lopez out there at second base. And over at third, Pedro Feliz. Sun shining brightly as we show you the defense of the Cardinals.
Again, Colby Rasmus dealing with a calf problem, so John Jay gets to start again in center field. Alan Craig's going to bat 8th for the Cardinals and play right field against the left-handed pitcher, Barry Zito.
Aaron Rowan will lead it off. Rowan from Portland, Oregon, 23 years old. Toyota presenting our first pitch of the game. Garcia to Roland. In for a strike. Plate umpire is fielding Culbreth. Mike Everett at first base, Gary Cedarstrom at second, and Ed Hickox at third. Fouled out of play. The Giants start the day 69-55, batting .260 as a team. 88 degrees here at the park. Nice breeze blowing from left to right. Actually seems rather pleasant this afternoon compared to what we've had. Here's Feliz, one away.
Pedro Feliz coming over to the Cardinals again for his defense more than his hitting. Good form, stays down on the ball. Almost came up a little too soon on that one as the ball hugged the ground. But Feliz is a veteran at third base, and he has such good hands. He has a good arm, and he has a pretty good tutor in Jose Oquendo, although he's at the point in his career where I think he knows what he's doing at third base.
Freddie Sanchez batting .263. Sanchez has gone 5 for 13 in his last 3 games. Sanchez's last error came last season on September 19th at Los Angeles. And another one for Feliz. 2 away. Here is Buster Posey. This brilliant youngster is a catcher most of the time. Playing first base this afternoon, batting .344, hitting .400 on the road this year for the Giants. Posey is just 23 years old. He's from Leesburg, Georgia. Played at Florida State. Won the Golden Spikes Award as the top college player in 2008. And he not only caught in college, he also was a relief pitcher at times.
There'd be games where he'd pitch 8 innings and go in and be the closer in the 9th inning.
very talented young player. The Giants have really remade this team, and part of that remodeling job began with Posey being called up from the minor leagues, but they also got Jose Guillen to play right field. And this is a very different lineup than we saw out in San Francisco early in the season.
Oh, what a play down there by Felice. He handled all 3 outs and did it in fine fashion. After a half inning of play, no score. Lineup for this afternoon.
Brendan Ryan in the leadoff spot here this afternoon. John Jay, the left-hander against Zito, will bat the second spot. Felipe Lopez is hitting behind Matt Holliday, and Tony's thought there was to try to get Holliday some protection behind him. Lopez hits Barry Zito very well.
Zito, born in Las Vegas, 32 years old. 8-7 this year. 2002 Cy Young Award winner. Here's the defense.
Very good center fielder. Aaron Rowan is one of the best defensively. Guillen with a great arm in right. You mentioned Sanchez has not made an error since last September.
Yep. Here's Ryan batting .225, leading off. And Ryan has had remarkable success against Zito. He's batting .462 lifetime against Mr. Zito. Mentioned Zito was born in Las Vegas. His parents were in show business out there. In fact, they worked the opening act for the late great King Cole for many years. Nat King Cole. 2 balls and no strikes. High strike, 2-1.
Been an interesting year for Zito. Had an off year last year and started out in great fashion this year. He went to 6-1 on the 16th of May, and one of the top pitchers in the league at that point at 6-1, and now he's 8-7. So you can tell he hasn't won a lot of starts since May.
This is the 346th career start for him.
And his big pitch, of course, is a curveball. A little bit different than Wainwright's. It may even be a bigger curveball than Wainwright, but it's not as sharp, and it's a little slower.
Did he go around? No, they say. Full count. The skipper, Bruce Bochy, yelling out from the dugout. Here's a shot into center field. Rowan coming on. 1 away.
And speaking of yelling from the dugout, there'll be one manager who will not be doing that after today. Lou Piniella has announced that today will be his last day managing the Chicago Cubs. Mike Quaddy, the third base coach, will take over for Piniella. And he and Bobby Cox today will be exchanging lineup cards, and it'll be the last time for Lou Piniella. In fact, that just happened. And Piniella, with an ailing mother in Tampa, felt that he needed to spend more time with her. He'd already announced his retirement at the end of the season, and I have great respect for Lou Piniella, and so does the Cardinal manager, Tony La Russa.
Ah, yes. Sweet Lou. He'll be missed. Been a part of the game for a long, long time. John Jay standing in there with a .353 batting average. On the ground, Sanchez, nice play.
The good smooth hands of Freddie Sanchez. Shows a little bit of range, has a very good arm, throws off balance. Nice to have a steady fielder like Sanchez behind you if you're pitching. And what a tear Albert has been on.
Hit his 32nd home run here on Friday night. Leads the league in home runs, in runs batted in total bases, slugging percentage. The man. Inside.
Home runs in 9 of his last 17 games, and a lot of them have been to center field. Early in the season, a lot of long fly ball outs, but Albert really has dialed up the power, and when he's going right, the park can't contain him. Left, right, center, doesn't matter.
1 ball and 1 strike. Cincinnati a loser last night in Los Angeles. Cardinals 3.5 behind the Reds. The Reds playing at LA later. Arroyo against Kershaw. Outside. It's raining in Boston, where Toronto is set to play, but they're not playing. They're delayed. Here's one deep to left, and it's going to stay in the park. Pat Burrell making the play on the warning track. An inning has been played. There's no score. Get the area's 2 favorite destinations for one great price with the Cardinals Six Flags Double Play Combo. Just $50, you get tickets to the 2010 Cardinals game and a one-day pass to Six Flags St. Louis. Get your Double Play Combo today at Cardinals.com. Pat Burrell leads it off in the second inning. Burrell batting .273. Burrell has homered in 5 of his last 10 games, batting .282 with 19 RBIs over the past 24 games. That just gets by the glove of Felice, and Burrell has a leadoff single.
I guess the Giants are going to test out Pedro Felice down there. 3 outs in the first inning, and then Pat Burrell gets a ground ball past him. Begin the second.
Burrell has really been rejuvenated coming over here to the Giants. Former #1 draft choice of the Phillies, former Golden Spikes Award winner at the University of Miami. Here's Jose Guillen. Guillen has gone 10 for 24, batting .417 in the last 7 games.
Still a dangerous hitter. A lot of power. He's not a big guy.
34 years old now from the Dominican. He's been around.
He has.
This is his 10th team. Yep, 10 teams he's played for.
Key for Garcia is going to be to keep the ball down and away to him.
Double play ball. Out at second. Out at third. 6-4-3, and Guillen very slow getting to first base.
Yeah, he can't run. He's hurt. He'll never be able to run again. He's age issues and just deterioration. So you know he can't run. Double play can take a little bit more time developing.
Guillen on the DL 7 times in his career.
Yeah, he's just barely hanging on to be able to play, and the Giants want some pop in their lineup, so they're willing to take a chance on him.
Here's the switch hitter, Pablo Sandoval, 23-year-old from Venezuela, batting .265. And he pops this one in the air toward right center. Let's see who's going to take it out there. It'll be Craig. An inning and a half by the boards. No score.
Baseball News Channel 5. It's a pleasure to get together with Joe Cunningham, who was honored before the game for all of his great years of service with the Cardinals. What kind of thrill was that for you, Joe?
What kind of what?
What kind of thrill was that for you?
It's like going to heaven and still being alive.
That sounds familiar, like Whitey Herzog.
Yeah.
Very nice. Joe, you hit .345 one year, but you're most known for 3 home runs in your first 2 big league games. How do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that. My first game, I had a 3-run homer and a 2-run single. Then we went to Milwaukee, and I hit 2 off a spawn. And that was my first 2 games in the big leagues. But I think out of everything I was proud of, besides the school program that we do, Say No to Drugs was my .413 on-base percentage. I was proud of that.
You would have made a lot of money if you were playing now with that on-base percentage.
Yes, I would.
Joe, congratulations. Enjoy this special day with all your friends and family.
Thank you for the interview.
All right, that's Joe Cunningham. Let's send it back to Jay.
Holiday is flied out to center. Here is Lopez. Smokey Joe, a wonderful fella, and been a friend for so long. Despite playing behind Stan Musial at first base, he, of course, made the transition to the outfield and was named to the 59 All-Star team. And just an outstanding player and an even more outstanding human being. I'll show you, if you missed it, here he was throwing out the ceremonial first pitch today. Fred Bird's got his big glove on.
Joe's still throwing strikes. He was a first baseman and an outfielder. He had .345 that year when he made the All-Star team. And Joe has been innovative, not just the school program, but a number of other ideas. The high school games that they have after Cardinal games.
That's right.
On select days. And Joe also kind of invented the party room idea. He actually kind of did it by accident. Had some buddies. They had an empty booth at Old Bush Stadium and had some buddies, and let's just say they had a party. And he thought, you know what, that might be a great idea for some of our corporations to bring their folks. And so Joe's been a big part of Cardinal Nation over the years.
Lopez strikes out. The first strikeout for Barry Zito. And Felice will come to the plate with nothing shaking here in the bottom of the second inning. Felice with 2 multi-hit games in his first 2 games here for the Cardinals. Came over on Thursday from Houston in exchange for a minor league right-hander, David Carpenter. Fouled away.
We wanted to make sure they got the right Carpenter.
You're right there. No relation.
No relation. There's actually another Carpenter, Jay, in the minor leagues. I believe his name's Matt, who's just tearing it up with the bat. Don't want to give him up either.
Felice with a 2-out single. Already 5 hits. 2 games and 1 at bat.
Pitch him away. Take it that way. High and away is much easier to handle than low and away. Really a mistake from Zito, although occasionally he'll pitch up in the zone with his fastball. It's a better complement to that curveball that he throws, and every once in a while he'll get guys to chase on that ball up out of the zone.
Molina batting .253. Yachty is 3 for 7 in this series. A little low.
Trying to keep it loose.
Another one inside. The Giants will fly to the Bay Area tonight and open a series against the Reds tomorrow. The Redbirds headed to Pittsburgh. Strike on the corner.
I wonder where Zito may have developed that habit of kind of moving his arm around, his pitching arm. And you know, a lot of times pitchers will do this just because their arm hurts. You'll just shake it around a little bit just to make sure it feels better. Maybe Zito got used to that and has just kept that little habit.
Ooh, that just missed. Molina, who hit his first career grand slam, of course, over in Cincinnati. Fouls this one away. A lot of rain up east. They're delayed at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees leading 5-0. And as we said earlier, they haven't started at Boston. Lease with a pretty good lead. Not going, and the walk. First pass issued by Zito. Follow the Cardinals every Sunday morning at 10 with the Sunset Ford Cardinal Nation Show. It's 30 minutes of in-depth stories, interviews, and features. That's the Sunset Ford Cardinal Nation Show right here on your home for Cardinal Baseball, News Channel 5. Alan Craig.
In the pregame, Rennie asked us who our pick was for the player to click, and we did not mention Alan Craig, batting in the 8th spot. But Zito could be the kind of guy he hits. You know, he's had trouble, Alan has, with the right-handers, with the really good breaking ball. He hasn't been able to time that yet, and that will come. He's a very, very good hitter. He just hasn't got on track yet. But Zito could be just the guy that he clicks with.
Fouled away. Craig's hit a few balls right on the nose, but right at somebody lately.
And that doesn't help when you're playing sparingly. You want to try to get those blue pits and get lucky every once in a while, just so you feel good about where you are. And it's really tough when you're not playing every day to perform at this level, especially for a young player.
He's 2 for 17 on this homestand.
What young player in the big leagues has ever, and I mean ever, going back to high school, little league, college, has ever had to sit on the bench and not play? They're just not used to that. And when you get to this level and all of a sudden you're going to play just 1 or 2 games a week and try to stay sharp, it's a difficult adjustment for some guys.
Yeah, you got to deal with the frustration, don't you? Here's a shot into right field. Guillen is there. Cardinals strand 2, and after 2 innings here at Busch Stadium, there is no score. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam. See who's enjoying this game this afternoon. A lot of folks are. Budweiser. It is what we do. The voice of the Cardinals, Mr. Mike Shannon, joins me here in the booth.
How are you, Jenny?
I'm very well, Old Irish. How you running?
Great. I'd be a lot better if you could score me some runs.
All right, well, let's hope that now that you're here, we can get something done.
Well, I hope you are correct, sir. You usually have been correct in your fabulous career in this business.
I want to send to a great fan of yours in Cardinal baseball, Alma Johnson over in Collinsville, Illinois, celebrating her 95th birthday today.
You know who I got a note from the other day?
Who's that?
Anastasia from up in Illinois.
My goodness. Mr. Bolster's friend, yes.
She wrote me a note, said that wanted to know if we were ever coming back to that little town in Illinois.
Fond memories.
I said, I'm not too sure. Here's a curve, and it's a strike, and Mr. Jennings will tell you about this third inning. We just have not been able to score on a consistent basis. Maybe it'll start today.
Well, let's hope so.
This San Francisco lineup is tough. They've got some good players on this team.
Absolutely, they do. Nice win here last night. Carpenter getting the job done.
Big time in the hitting. I really love the hitting. How about our new third baseman? He's playing well on both ends, isn't he?
He sure is. And there's a strikeout. The first for Garcia. I want to remind you that you can cheer on the Cards against the Cubs September 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's the official Cardinals road trip to Wrigley package. Each package includes hotel accommodations, game tickets, exclusive Cardinal event. Reserve your spot on the road trip. Call 1-800-892-7687 or visit cardinals.com/vacations. Here's Eli Whiteside, who's doing the catching today. Young Posey playing first base.
We're going to miss our buddy Lou, aren't we? This is his last game today. We certainly wish him well.
Oh, boy.
He's been a class act through the years.
Rick and I mentioned how much we'll miss him. He's been such a part of the game for a long, long time.
And we hope he really enjoys his retirement. It's well-deserved.
Whiteside, an outstanding defensive catcher, light hitter, but he's batting .236. 2 balls and a strike. Went over 3 on Thursday night in Philadelphia. And let's see, this is going to be backing out of play. Whiteside, this is just his second start in the last 10 games.
I tell you, it's really tough to stay sharp when you're on this play at that pace. Very, very tough. He's their backup guy. And the way this young Posey's playing, both offensively and defensively, it looks like that's going to be the case.
Boy, he's a terrific looking player, isn't he? 2-2. Did he go around? Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Strikeout number 2.
Let's see what we'll let you determine. We have the benefit of the great replays here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was close, but you see the side angle. You went all the way across the plane. All you have to do is break the plane. It's kind of like in football on the goal line. Break the plane.
Here's Zito batting 122.
It'd be nice if the umpires had that little picture in their pocket and they could look at it real quick. What do you think?
Be all right with me. Mike, you were with us out in San Francisco, of course, when Zito pitched a terrific 8 innings, 3 walks, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, 2-0 win, and he beat Wainwright on that occasion. Out in front of the plate, fair ball, and that'll do it. Well, they're down 1-2-3, 2.5 innings played. Nothing shaking for either side. Preseason football action. Minnesota, San Francisco. Of course, this past week, the Vikings got their quarterback Brett Favre back in there for his 20th record-breaking NFL season. The Vikings and the 49ers, preseason action tonight at 7 on News Channel 5.
Congratulations to the Rams on their victory last night.
Very nice. Nasty evening over on the lakefront in Cleveland. A lot of rain over there, but a nice win for the Rams. Certainly showed some improvement.
Yeah, that ought to pick up some spirits around there.
Yeah.
That hadn't been any fun.
Here's Garcia to lead it off in the third, batting 167. Strike on the inside corner.
We haven't seen that great big overhanded sweeping curve from Zito yet.
I'm sure we will.
He's cut down that breaking ball.
Yeah.
A lot.
Garcia's 1-1 with a 2.45 ERA in 6 starts versus the National League West. Tap foul.
See, that's a curve, but he's really shortened it up. His curveball used to be great big sweeping 3/4 inch curveball, or 3/4 arm position curveball that broke about 2.5, 3 feet sometimes. And he's pitched a lot better, as you've indicated, Jay.
Yep.
Than his record shows. A lot of sunshine here today.
Beautiful afternoon, isn't it?
88 degrees at the start.
Hot shot, just foul. Ooh, boy.
Jeez, he hangs in there well against left-handers. He's facing a tough one here today.
That's high. Cardinals are 49-27 as Jaime strikes out in games that have been started by Garcia, Wainwright, and Carpenter. Well, Mike, you talked about the kind of day it is. It's a dandy here in downtown St. Louis. Just a fabulous Sunday afternoon, and the crowd on hand.
Fans have really flocked to the ballpark. It's an entire homestand, and we've got better than 40,000 again here today. Downtown area last night was really hopping, big time.
Ryan flied to center field to start the game for the Cardinals, and he hits this one into the seats and right.
I think we had a little rain shower too last night. Was that last night or the night before?
I think there might have been some last night. We had some storms
the night before.
And that storm, I was out in Chesterfield on Friday around 12:30. So black you couldn't see 20 feet, and the rain rolled in for about 30 minutes.
So you were responsible for that.
I'm not responsible. But I'll tell you.
You're sticking with it?
You know, I look at this field, Mike.
Yeah.
And
it's
just Mr. Finley and his crew have done a remarkable job through this heat and all of this rain.
The concerts.
It's just amazing what they've been able to do.
The high school games.
Yep.
Had the Hogs down here last night. They didn't allow them to go on the grass. I just thought one of them would go tearing across. I don't. They were very well disciplined.
2-2.
It was a very nice promotion.
Spend the evening in the ballpark, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have all kinds of promotions now. They have Dog Day, with they call it Brina's Pooches in the Park.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of things. And last night we had a Hog Day, which was not the animal, but the two-legged beast that they built now.
Give you a chance to comment. How about our friend Joe Cunningham, Smokey Joe, being honored here today?
Great, huh? Yeah. He's, you know, this guy was a very talented player. He
sure was.
He had a 305 lifetime average, plus he had a 400 on-base percentage. What would that get you today?
Plenty.
I mean, I tell you, that on-base percentage, that'll get you. That'll get you to the leadoff spot, I guarantee you that.
Comes the 2-2 from Zito.
And the job he's done with the
pop back out of play.
That drug program for the schools in the area, he's been doing it for like 25 years. Nice play by a fan just below us. But he was very, very talented baseball player, and he went on to have a very distinguished career after his playing days.
Yeah, in the front office.
Cardinals front office.
And that's a fair ball. I think it's going to be ruled.
No, it's fair. They're letting it play.
Yeah, are they going to let it play? Because the ball guy down there in the corner, it looked like he might have touched it.
Yeah, that's where it appeared. But they're going to just call it a regular double.
That's fine with me.
Get another look.
Sure, it's fine with Ryan.
Let's see. You saw that curveball, and it was a pretty good pitch down, but he hit it right over the bag. Let's see.
No, it didn't touch him. It did not touch him.
Umpires are right
on. Our
on.
Angle, I couldn't tell.
Well,
you know,
like it hit something. It did. And it got hit the little wedge underneath the wall down there.
I mentioned that Ryan's had great success against Zito. 462 lifetime coming into today.
That's his 7th hit in 15 at-bats. Oh, there
ball gets away.
Big wild pitch there now. Man in third and only one out, and the Cardinals could grab the lead. These are the kind of plays, Jay, that you have to capitalize on. You got to figure out some way to score here now. If they make the mistake, then you have to capitalize on it.
Posey, the regular catcher, playing first base today. I don't know if he could have stopped that. He's a talented youngster, but a wild pitch puts Ryan at third.
You might have had to have a snow fence to stop that one.
Jay grounded out in the first. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he stands in there well against the lefties, doesn't he?
The defense. Third baseman Sandoval pulled in a little bit. A lot of room up the middle. 3-0.
And if you think he's swinging, you better think again. What the man on deck, he had a little something to say about that.
That's the second walk issued by Zito. Albert, who flied out in the first, comes to the plate. Sanchez in to talk to Zito. We're in the top of the third. It's scoreless. The Cardinals with a golden opportunity. Runners at the corners, 1 out.
You know, Jay, you and I have been talking about Albert for the last month or so and his chances for the Triple Crown. I tell you, they're bona fide.
They're getting better every day.
Yeah, well, he's first in home runs. He's first in RBIs. He's only 5 points off leading the league in average.
Right.
Coming into the day. He's hitting .316, and the top batsman is Votto, Cincinnati, and he's come in at the start of the day, .321.
.357 in his career against Zito. Good pitch right at the knees, 0-2. Cardinals are 40-23 at home this year, but only 12-15 against the West teams. One ball and 2 strikes. Albert also leading the National League in slugging percentage. Second in on base percentage. Number 1 in total bases. Having another remarkable year. Throw it over to first.
Well, what the Giants are hopeful of here is a double play ball. That's what they're looking for. Of course, Albert's looking for something he can drive to put the Cards on top here.
Out in the left. Ryan comes home. 1-0 St. Louis. RBI number 89.
Well, he tried to get this fastball by him up and in, and he got it just a little too far out over the plate. It doesn't have to be much for Albert. You can see it was plainly out of the strike zone, but Albert's not up there for the walks, and he hammered that baby.
Dave Righetti, the pitching coach of the Giants, out to talk with Zito.
Value of getting on in front of Albert Pujols, and the first 2 guys, Ryan and Jay, have done that. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? They have to pitch to him.
Holiday will try to keep it going. He flied to center field in the second inning. Had a 9-game hitting streak that ended on the 15th as he went 15 for 35. Fouled away.
Sometimes these left-handers can be tougher on right-handed batters than they can on lefties. They're giving that little bit of left center, and if you're the center fielder, you got to watch if they're going to pitch it inside or outside. They're pitching them outside
into the seats and right.
But if you see that, I used to like to get the signs from particular pitchers against a particular hitter when I was playing center field, and or I'd have the shortstop or the second baseman flashing to me. And for instance, if he's going to try to throw him a changeup or something inside here, I'd move over a little bit towards center.
Up the middle. John Jay is being waved home. He'll score. Going into third. Pujols.
Well, your 2 big men come through here, Pujols and Holiday. But again, I stress, getting those first and second men on with Brendan Ryan getting the double and then Jay taking the walk. Those are huge.
Albert doing a great job of getting to third. He always seems to know what he can do out there.
Yeah, he's a good base runner. And you can see how many hops this baseball took. And so he decoyed that center fielder. He acted like he was going to stop, and then he threw the gas to it.
Pujols at third, Holiday at first. Lopez, who struck out in the second, stands in. Throw over to first. Outside.
Such a great advantage when you can go from first to third in this business. Ooh. There's so many things now that Lopez can do to get the man home. like that.
Here's a fly ball into center. Rowand is back just at the track. Albert trots home. 3-0 Cardinals. That's a RBI number 33 for Lopez.
This was a changeup now, and you'll see that he stayed back long enough that he could hit it into center field, and really he got it up again. And that's in a spot where you were looking for the ground ball and not the fly ball if you're Zito.
Again, a throw over.
What the Cardinals have done here, though, they have taken advantage, and they've gotten the job done.
Felice stands in. He singled in the second. Got the first hit of the game for the Redbirds. Looked bad on that one.
Good changeup. Zito's a good pitcher now. I'll tell you, he's got a lot of weapons. You don't become a Cy Young Award winner in this business unless you have talent.
That's way wide.
And that's been his problem right there. He's been up. You see the difference in those two pitches. The one that was down, he took a swing at. The one that was up, you can see the ball so much better when it's up in the zone.
Felice already with 5 hits for the Redbirds.
He's 5 out of 9 since donning the Birds on the back. You know, talking about pitching high and low. Jim Bunning, the governor and senator from Kentucky, once being interviewed by a writer, said, why do you want the ball low? He said, well, if God would have wanted you to be a low ball hitter, he'd have put your eyeballs in your kneecaps.
Another toss over.
Spoken like a true politician, right?
Absolutely.
And a very astute gentleman, Mr. Jim Bunning.
Holiday has 8 stolen bases this season.
Yeah, he picks his spots.
Out to the shortstop. That's going to do it. But the Redbirds have plated 3 here in the third and have the lead. Brought to you by Bank of America. Get Cardinals banking only from Bank of America. Get started at a banking center or go to bankofamerica.com/Cardinals. By the Dave Sinclair Automotive Group, a proud sponsor of Cardinal baseball. And by McDonald's. Try a new ice blended caramel or mocha frappe now at McDonald's. I want to send along our very best to all of the friends of Greg and LaDonna Richmond. They're here celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. They attended a Cardinal game back on their honeymoon in '72. Keep coming back every year. This is the 40th anniversary. And I want to say hello to everybody back in the Madisonville, Kentucky, and Evansville area watching on CW19 out there. Greg and LaDonna Richmond, our congratulations to you.
I want to congratulate Sue for all those years.
She deserves congratulations, I'll tell you. What a great lady. Huh?
How's she doing? I haven't seen her.
She's doing fine, thank you.
She needs to join us one afternoon or when you're working over there at Fairmount Park.
Aaron Rowan.
She's having too much fun with those grandkids.
Oh, the grandkids have been terrific, yep. Rowan grounded out, and he hits this down the line in left foul.
You see these guys, when they get that pitch up, boy, they just, their eyes light up and they go to hammer at us. That's Gibson one day. He was pitching and he said, "Don't these guys ever miss anything that's up?" I said, "No, and there's usually a line drive tacked on the end of it."
You bet.
You're right about that.
Garcia gets him to ground it out to the shortstop.
See, there's the difference. He hit that ball right on the nose, but it was down, and he hit it on the ground. If that thing would have been up, it would have been into the alley out in left center field. You can see that. Watch out where this pitch is. It's away, but it's down, and so he goes down after it, and boom, he goes down on the ground. I know you probably say, why, and why are you always talking about that? But there's a great example right there.
Yes,
I mean, that ball was hit very, very hard, right on the sweet spot of the bat.
Strike on the corner to Freddie Sanchez, who grounded out in the first.
When you come to the park, you can't see what you just saw in that last pitch, how the ball moves up there. See, you know, if the ball goes, you think it's going to go straight. It doesn't, especially from these left-handers. It's always moving. It's usually going away from the right-handed batters. And then you say, how are you going to protect against that? Well, then you go to the curveball. But you see that fastball. It looked like it was going to be right on the corner, and then it went over about 3 inches, right at the lap. That's what's called movement. And the later it moves, the better. There it is again.
Freddie Sanchez is 32 years old. He born in Hollywood, California, three-time All-Star. And many of you will remember in 2006 he was the National League batting champion. This guy's had a terrific career.
Yeah, this guy's a good hitter, but that last pitch you saw was blowing away, and you saw how much movement it had on it. Now, that pitch there was the four-seamer where he threw it up and in. Now he's set up to go blowing away again with either the breaking ball or that fastball where he turns it over just a bit. They're going to go back outside. Let's see if he can keep it down. Oh, got it out.
Full count.
But he still has him set up to go with something off speed here or turn the fastball over. Let's see what he does with it. He says keep it down, and he threw it right down the middle. And Sanchez missed it. Wow.
Albert is under it.
He definitely got away with a pitch there. Run this thing back and watch where this pitch is. It is right down the middle. We'll take a look at this pitch here. Right down the middle, but he still had movement on it, and that's why he popped it up. Take a look here. Watch where this pitch is. Right down the middle, but because of the movement, he popped it up.
Here's the talented Buster Posey, who lined out to Feliz back in the first inning.
Boy, there's a great pitch now. He's already established himself inside. Now he can use a multiple number of pitches to go away with it. He kept it low, and he gets the ground out.
He's looking good down there at third.
Yeah, he can play.
3.5 innings. Cardinals 3, San Francisco nothing. At Busch Stadium when you stay at the Hyatt Regency St. Louis at the Arch. The package includes overnight accommodations, $10 food and beverage credit per day at the Brew House, tickets to a Cardinal game, plus a personalized Rawlings baseball bat. Visit HyattRegencySt.Louis.com for more information. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Yadier Molina, who walked in the second, will stand in. He'll be followed by Craig and Garcia.
Tough to lay off that all-speed pitch like that, but Yadi's done a good job of it.
Up the middle.
He missed with the off-speed pitch, then he came back with a fastball. Kept it in a pretty good place, but Yadi jammed it up the middle.
Alan Craig fly to right. Back in the second.
Case of getting a pitch, looking for it, putting it in play.
35 RBIs in June at Memphis, the highest monthly total by any minor leaguer this year. But of course, he's played sparingly since rejoining the club, and Rick and I were talking about how frustrating it is when you can't play regularly, and you've been doing so well when you were playing regularly down in Memphis, but it's just the way it is, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys come to the big leagues, and that's the way they have to try to break in, because there's usually already someone here that's pretty darn good and has been through it before.
Exactly.
You just have to capitalize on the chances you get. It's not easy. It's one thing to get here, and it's another thing to stay here.
2 balls and no strikes to Craig. Here's one well hit to left. It's back, and it is gone.
That's the way you take advantage.
That is his second major league home run.
Nice one when you throw those crooked numbers on the board. 3 in the third, now 2 more here in the fourth. And Zito makes the mistake. He put it in that zone again, and Craig made him pay.
5-0 Cardinals.
Right down the middle again.
Garcia struck out in the third.
That was sweet, wasn't it?
Sure was. That will lessen his frustration a little bit.
Yes, you are correct. Problem is, boy, you don't get many opportunities, and you really have to capitalize on them, and then you get a couple of days back to back. It's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
That is the third strikeout for Zito. 382 feet. The estimated distance of the
Jim, they've been asking that question for years and years. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Some forensic people the other day have solved that problem.
They have?
Yeah. They said it was the chicken. And next week somebody will come out and they'll say,
it seems logical to me to be the chicken, but who knows?
But where did he come from?
Yeah, right. Into right field off the bat of Brendan Ryan.
He had to be the only chicken that didn't come from the egg, right?
I guess.
Well, you had that
some pretty heady stuff from you this afternoon.
Hey, listen, when you got 5 runs, man, you can talk about chickens and everything else.
Anything you'd like, Old Irish, anything you'd like. We're at your service here.
Hey, 5 runs in 2 innings, and you can get somebody up in the bullpen for us.
John Jay takes the strike. He grounded out in the first, walked and scored in the third.
I tell you, there's a guy with a good arm, that Mota.
Woo.
Get out,
Laced into right.
Yes, sir. That Jay, he's getting it done, isn't he, John, with a walk, and he got that 3-run rally going and stayed with it in the third, and now he gets another base hit. He reached out, stayed back long enough to just pop this one into a right field. So he gets out in front, but he keeps the hands back. Reach down there, and we're going to have a pitching change right here. He's seen enough. That's it.
With this pitching change, we'll take this timeout. Sunday, that's the 29th. The Cards will be in the nation's capital, play the Nationals. The Window World Cardinals game day preview comes your way at noon. The Cards and the Nationals next Sunday on your home for Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. The Horizon call to the bullpen, and it brings us one Guillermo Mata.
Skype. He's no picnic to hit against.
No, sir. This is his 51st appearance of the season. Mota has been touched for at least one run in each of his last 5 relief outings.
He's what you call comfortably wild if you're on his side. If you're on the other side, it's uncomfortably wild.
In his 12-year major league career, he has logged 749 and 2/3 innings. That is second most among active relievers. So Mota to face Albert Pujols.
You don't have to think about who's at number 1. Also the number 1 saves leader.
And there's Mr. Zeta. Zeta with a very tough day.
Yeah.
Strike 1 to Albert.
Pretty good cutter right there.
Albert has flied to left. Singled and scored and picked up the RBI in the 3rd inning. Throw over. Five 7-0 for St. Louis. 0-1-0 for San Francisco.
He's had that look about him. That's why they're throwing over there. And Mota, if he doesn't pay attention, he can be long coming from his set position.
Jay has 1 stolen base in 5 attempts.
He's got a pretty good lead over there, I'll tell you that. He was leaning that time.
And the faithful here want him to please throw home. Albert steps back in. The runner is safe. That's the second stolen base for Jay. Running with Mr. Pujols up.
Let's see if they walk Albert.
Yeah, that will be interesting. That's the next move that we'll check out.
Pretty close down there.
Yeah, it was close.
Ball beat him, but he couldn't get the tag down in time. Good call by the umpire.
And they're going to walk Albert, I do believe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you're just going to have to have a Holiday come through here. Now what you like is a 3-run homer. You say, oh, that was a good move. Don't run very often with Albert at the plate, and that's why.
The 28th intentional pass given to Albert.
Well, they're not going to pitch though. That's no knock on Holiday either, because you name somebody that you would rather have at the plate than Albert Pujols. Can you name the one?
Albert, of course, leading the league in intentional walks. Holiday has flied to center, singled, and picked up an RBI in the third. Low from Mota.
That's where Mota is. And he has trouble with his control at times. He gets it up there in the mid-90s. Sure would be nice to cash in again here, wouldn't it?
Popped up. Posey makes the play. Albert Pujols and the Cardinals find themselves up 5-0 after 4. Presented by Budweiser, the Cardinals and the Pirates. Game 1 of that series from the Steel City tomorrow, 5:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. Pat Burrell to lead it off as we go to the 5th. Burrell singled back in the 2nd inning. Rick Horton rejoins me here in the booth. Mr. Shannon did a nice job. He got 5 runs while you were gone.
How about that? I got 5 on the radio side.
There you go.
I think we're tied during the year, Mike and I.
I would think so. And stroked into center field, a leadoff single for Burrell. And he's 2 for 2. And he has really rejuvenated his career since joining the Giants. Our friends at Commerce Bank presenting this day in history. Mark McGwire becomes the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs in 4 consecutive seasons. Ian grounded into a double play back in the 2nd. Cardinals getting to Zito early. Zito, Rick, has been one of the best second-half pitchers throughout his 11-year career. It posted a 76-43 record after the All-Star games over his career, but the Redbirds got to him today.
They did a nice job the second time through the lineup. Very important for the Cardinals to jump out on top. We talked about that in the pregame. Because this Giants bullpen is so good, you don't want to get down. You don't want to feel the pressure of having to come back against a tough bullpen.
6-4-3 and a nice scoop by Albert to make it work. O'Hean is hit into 2 double plays.
Tough hop, high hop from Brendan Ryan. And very comfortable at second base is Felipe Lopez. Quick movement by him as he went across the bag. And a much better defensive alignment for the Cardinals here this afternoon.
Yeah. He's a better second baseman than he is the third baseman, obviously.
And Albert's pretty good at scooping those throws and has been for 10 years.
Sandoval fly to right back in the 2nd.
We have a birthday wish for Mike Rembish, who's here at the ballpark in the Bank of America room. His 63rd birthday. He's celebrating today. And a get well wish to Leon Gill, whose nieces and nephews are at the Redbird Club here this afternoon. They want to wish him a speedy recovery. And great Cardinal fans all over the place, Jay.
Well over 40,000 here again on this lovely Sunday in downtown St. Louis. Right back to Jaime Garcia. The double play was very helpful. It went 6-4-3. The Cardinals lead 5-0. Cutting the Game is available at major bookstores. It's a wonderful, wonderful, well-written book by our director Tom Mee. A look behind the scenes at Cardinal telecasts and the way telecasts are created and placed on your screens. Follow the Game Day blog and get your copy today. CuttingTheGame.com.
Well, friends of mine that know me, know how to find me, they can borrow my copy of it. But you got to give it back to me because I've got an autographed copy. How about that? Other people, they're going to have to go to CuttingTheGame.com and get their own. But it's certainly worth your time reading that, finding out the behind-the-scenes look at producing a Cardinal telecast.
Here's Felipe Lopez as we lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-0 Redbirds. In for a strike. A little low. The rain has subsided, and they're back playing at Yankee Stadium, but the Yankees lead 5-0. And they are playing in Boston, where they were held up for over 2 hours. Toronto at Boston. Rick's Quick Fix. Brought to you by Quick Lane.
Felipe Lopez, one of the ways to get him to relax at the plate, I think, is to get him to play the position that he's much more comfortable with, which he's doing here this afternoon, playing second instead of third. And he's now been on base. Well, that's just his first time, but a very productive at-bat in the 3rd inning, a sacrifice fly. A productive RBI in that 3rd inning. And Felipe has struggled more from the left side of the plate than the right side of the plate. But I think getting him in a normal position might really help him offensively because he has, Jay, a real big upside. He typically hits right around 300. He's just having a bit of an off year.
Feliz. The throw over. Lopez has stolen 7 out of 9 attempts on the base paths. Feliz singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd. That game at New York involved Seattle and the Yankees. Again, it's 5-0 in the 6th inning now that they've resumed play. Philadelphia leading the Nationals 2-0 6th inning at Philadelphia. San Diego at Milwaukee. They're in the 5th, and San Diego leads 2-0. Catches the corner. Pittsburgh's leading the Mets. They're in the 9th inning at Pittsburgh. Pirates up 2-1. Atlanta leads Chicago 5-3. 4th inning at Chicago. Lou Pinella's last day as manager of the Cubs. Out into center field. Rowan coming on. Join News Channel 5 and make the pledge to hang up and drive. Help end distracted driving by keeping your eyes on the road and off the phone. Take the pledge now at ksdk.com. Everyone who makes the pledge will be entered to win a brand new 4-door SEL Ford Fiesta. Make our roads safer. Hang up and drive. Molina has walked. In the 4th, he singled and scored. Alan Craig homering right behind him. Mota is from that famous baseball community in the Dominican, San Pedro de Macorís. Boy, they have turned out some players down there. ever been there, Rick?
I have.
I
love the country. I love the people, and many of the people from San Pedro, many of the players that have played the big leagues have been shortstops. They were famous for that.
That's right.
Developing big league shortstops, but just a wonderful country. I'd actually love to go back there again and just see how much it's changed. It's been a number of years, but did play winter ball there and just love the experience. They love Americans in the Dominican. They love baseball. One of the things you find when you go there is different than the United States. You can have multiple sports here in the United States that people follow, but in the Dominican, it's baseball. I mean, that is it. It's almost and it's beyond the national pastime. It is part of the fabric of the country.
1 ball and 1 strike. Runner goes. Throw is wide. Stolen base. That's number 8 for Lopez.
Cardinals not afraid to run against the Giants, and a perfect pitch to run on in the dirt. There's nothing that Whiteside could have done with that delivery. Cardinals with a couple of stolen bases already. John Jay with 1 in the 4th inning. Cardinals have been aggressive on the base paths, going back to Albert going first to 3rd on a base hit to center.
Yes, they have. Ooh. Good stop by Whiteside. Our first final of the afternoon, Rick. Detroit 8-1 over Cleveland in Detroit. Jim Leyland's club with a win. Three balls and a strike. 1 on and 1 out. Redbirds leading 5-0. Full count.
I wonder if that game in Chicago for Lou Piniella is going quickly or slowly. What do you think, Jay? I mean, you got to be reflective. And
most things that he does at this point in his career are very slow.
That's true.
Down the line in right. Ground rule double. Lopez scores. An RBI for Yachty, number 46.
Molina could not have placed that ball any more perfectly into that right field corner. He always has a knack for going the other way. He just lets the ball get deeper in the zone. And he takes it right down the right field line. This ball bounces into the stands, and that makes it a ground rule double. And because Lopez was already on second base, he's awarded 2 more bases, which results in RBI number 46 for Yachty.
And here is Craig, who hit the 2-run home run in the 4th. Mota made his major league debut against the Cardinals way back in 1999 on May the 2nd. They're always talking on that bench, trying to learn, trying to get feedback, information. One ball and 1 strike. 2-1.
It's part of being a big leaguer. You have to take what you know how to do physically and then learn as much as you can to get the edges against certain pitchers, certain teams, and the sharing of information is a big part of what goes on in that dugout every single day, every single night.
Into center field. Rowan makes the play out there.
Cardinals have a couple of former Giants on this club. In the newest one, Pedro Feliz, but also Randy Wynn. And that's another thing that happens is you've got the players that will come over and they will talk about particular players or hitters. They won't necessarily give the signs. That's why teams will change their signs often through the year, because once a guy is traded, you realize he's going to your adversary and you can't use the same signs. But they'll talk about things that you might not know by reading the stats about Guillermo Mota, let's say. I know I've seen him when he gets behind, he's always going to throw a slider. Those little pieces of information become very important to spread around the ball club so you're ready for it.
Randy Wynn last night with that home run kind of got things going. That's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Out it goes into left. Molina's held up at third. So an opportunity for Brendan Ryan.
Aaron Rowan got fooled earlier in this game by Albert Pujols, a rare mistake for him. So he makes up for it by doing things, everything correctly on that fly ball to center. He gets behind it, gets his body moving towards where he's going to throw it. And, you know, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. And he's not going to make the same mistake twice. He's going to get that ball into the infield right away to the cutoff man. And perfect defensive alignment by a guy that knows how to play center field.
Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, has made his way out to the mound to talk things over with Guillermo Mota. Cardinals now with 9 hits. Ryan has flied to center. Doubled and scored.
If you keep those hits coming, Jay.
Yeah. And let's see, in the 4th, he flied to left.
So if you knew the Cardinals were going to struggle against or actually handle 2 of 3 pitchers, but struggle against the other guy, would it be Zito, Lincecum, and Bumgarner? Which one do you think they would have the most trouble against?
That's why we play the game.
Exactly.
There's Lincecum. Boy, he needs a haircut.
And he needs to get back on track, too. He has his 94-mile-an-hour fastball intact, but was not sharp yesterday. Was early. First 4 innings, not so bad. You mentioned the Randy Wynn home run, a big hit.
That really got things going, didn't it?
Things really fell apart for him in the 5th inning.
1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan's got the batting average up to 226. Fouled out of play. I mentioned at the start of the telecast that Ryan has done very well in his career against Zito, and that was the case when he got the double in the 3rd. Zito. Disappointing afternoon for the veteran. Into right field. Molina scores. Garcia into 3rd. Well, Garcia did not slide over there, but he made it.
That's a good way to get yourself hurt. I like the aggressiveness, I guess, for Jaime Garcia to go from 1st to 3rd. But with 2 outs, I'm not sure that's worth that trip. And he almost gets himself hurt at 3rd base. You've got a great arm in right field in Guillen. Big hit by Brendan Ryan. And the throw, if it was on the money, he's out. And when you go into a base without sliding, you have a high probability of hurting something. And Garcia does just that. Got to put on the brakes and slam on the base, and doesn't look like he did get hurt, thankfully.
And a pitching change here. Back with more Cardinal baseball in a moment. Team in St. Louis: Cindy Pressler, Scott Connell, Mike Roberts, Anthony Slaughter. They've won the Weather Rate Seal of Approval 6 straight years as St. Louis' most accurate. The Weather Plus Weather Team, only on News Channel 5. The Verizon call to the bullpen brings us Javier Lopez, the left-hander from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Acquired by the Giants for Joe Martinez and John Bowker on July the 31st of this year. And a strike to John Jay. Jay this afternoon has grounded out, walked and scored and singled. Up the middle. Garcia comes home. RBI number 19 for John Jay.
A lot of offense for the Cardinals in this inning. Ball not handled by the left-hander Lopez, back through the box. And you like what you've seen from the Cardinals. You like the 2-out hitting that we've seen this afternoon. Albert with a little quixotic base running.
390 average, 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Jeff Suppan gave me that word earlier today.
I was just going to ask you.
He actually had a book of words.
Did he?
Yeah.
And he's a wordsmith, no question about that.
And it'd be nice to see him back pitching again. Cardinals expand their rosters in September. He should be ready at that time.
Albert hits it out to the shortstop. In time at second base on a close play. The Redbirds get 3 more to leave it 8-0. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5 brought to you by Hardee's. Try Hardee's new hand-breaded chicken tenders, freshly prepared on the premises. By Dave Munganess, Lexus of St. Louis and Plaza Lexus, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. And by Fairmount Park. Party at the Park every Friday evening at Fairmount Park. And I'm reminded, although I'm plugging Fairmount Park Friday nights, their Friday nights have ended. The last one was 2 nights ago. They will have their last day of live racing on Tuesday afternoon, and I'll be over there to play a little horse hooky with anybody who wants to come over. It's good to see this guy back with us. Very talented and wonderful Jim Jackson back at his post.
Jim's
producing and directing over on the radio. Shot into center field. John Jay makes the play.
Jim Jackson. Always so calm, so under control, always in a good mood.
Really a talented,
my goodness, he's very, very good.
Electronic engineer. Good to have him back. Eli Whiteside struck out back in the 3rd inning. It's a little high. Kansas City and the White Sox are tied 2-2 in the 7th inning over in Kansas City. Ryan makes the play and throws in time. Now get Cardinal banking only from Bank of America. You'll get the Cardinals logo on your debit card and your credit card and also your checks, plus extra base rewards with every credit card purchase. Learn more at a banking center or bankofamerica.com/Cardinals.
Speaking of quixotic, maybe frenetic is a good word for Brendan Ryan, the way he plays shortstop. He has such great athletic ability, and it's good to see him back playing well again. His mood is elevated. You see him in the clubhouse and in the dugout, and he's kind of back to being that confident kind of middle infielder. And, you know, you need to be confident to play at this level. You can't be looking around, looking over your shoulder, questioning whether you belong here or not, and it's great to see him back on track.
This is Nate Shearholtz pinch hitting. Shearholtz batting .239 on the season. He's from Reno, Nevada, and he strikes out. And another nice inning for Jaime Garcia. Cardinals leading 8-0. Name That Cardinal, presented by the great folks at Leaf Guard. Oh, boy.
More famous for his time with another organization than when he was with the Cardinals.
Houston.
The Houston Astro. Jose Cruz. First base coach for a number of years with the Astros. And you pick up that front leg, generate some power. Cardinal outfielder in the early 70s.
Ramon Ramirez into the game. The fourth pitcher of the afternoon for the Giants.
In fact, Cheo Cruz is what everybody called him, not Jose. And Jose from Puerto Rico, like Jose Oquendo, and everybody calls Jose Oquendo Cheo. That's his nickname.
Holiday has flied to center, singled, picked up an RBI, and fouled out.
There's Archeo.
Yes, sir. Jose.
He's got to be a lot happier. He was starting to feel like there's something wrong with him. No players were going to see him over the last week.
Isn't that the truth?
Pretty lonely.
Catches the inside corner.
Start to take that personally. By the way, there's an event, Jay, I want to tell folks about. It's called the Rock Star 5K, and it's September 26th. Mike Jorgensen, former Cardinal manager, and he works in the front office here, has given me the information on that event. I want to pass it along.
Uribe at shortstop makes the play.
And again, it's the Rockstar 5K. It'll be held at the Upper Muni lot at Forest Park, and they do great jobs with races there. And it's a 5K, again, September 26th. And folks want information about how to sign up for this event. They can register online at www.familiesrock.com. And it's a event that helps raise money to support families who compete with the problems and issues of ovarian cancer. And that is a very important work, and I wanted to pass that along from Mike Jorgensen.
Absolutely. Lopez is struck out, picked up an RBI with a sacrifice fly in the third, walked and scored and stole a base in the fifth. And it's stroked out into right center. One out single. This pitcher, Ramon Ramirez, has made 9 appearances with the Giants since being acquired in a trade on July 31st from Boston.
And you don't have to swing hard to get results. Just a nice, easy swing and a nice, easy stroke for Lopez, who again has struggled more from the left side than he has the right. Good at bat there. And he's had a nice day at the plate.
And in the hit department, that's an even dozen, cousin. 8-12-0 for the Birds. And let's see, is there a play? Yes, it's the second baseman, Sanchez. When you get together some of the biggest voices in St. Louis, you get some big opinions, good or bad, right or wrong. Tell it like it is. See what everyone's talking about. Watch I'm Just Saying weeknights during News Channel 5 at 10. A runner at first with 2 out for Yadier Molina. Yadi is 2 for 2 on the afternoon. An RBI. Scored both times he was on base. And the ground rule double in the fifth. Ramirez had held opponents scoreless in 24 of the last 32 games that he's been involved in. Ramirez also from the Dominican Republic. He'll be 29 on August the 31st. Say one thing for these Giants, Rick, they have made a lot of moves since we saw them back in April.
Different team.
Yeah.
Very different team. The lineup we saw back then, of course, Edgar Renteria was in that lineup, and he's on the disabled list, and he cannot really seem to stay in the lineup. Unfortunately, 3 times this year he's been on the disabled list. He's such a talented player, former Cardinal. Everybody loves Edgar in St. Louis. But that forced him to go out and get Fontenot to play short.
And of course, DeRosa's injured again. That same injury he had when he was here with us.
Wrist problem still bothering him. He's still traveling with the team, but not playing. And they got the corner outfielders, Burrell and Guillen, during the season. So again, very, very different team.
Pittsburgh has defeated the Mets in Pittsburgh 2-1. That's a final. That's where the Cardinals are headed. Into right field. This is a nice play being made by Sanchez in foul ground there. St. Louis's favorite weekday morning show today in St. Louis, getting you off to a good start on what's new, what's now, and what's next. It's Today in St. Louis. Weekdays, every weekday at 4:30 a.m. on News Channel 5, where the news comes first. We roll into the 7th inning, and Aaron Rowan will come to the plate. He's grounded out twice this afternoon for the Giants.
And for pitch count enthusiasts, only 58 pitches for Garcia through 6 innings. That's less than 10 pitches an inning.
Popped up to the right side. Lopez, one away. This has been a very impressive performance by Jaime to this point in the proceedings, certainly. Houston defeated Florida down at Miami today, 2-1. That's the final.
With as good a job Garcia is doing today, surprising that the Giants aren't being a little more patient. The low pitch count, although, you know, at some point you got to swing at the pitch you can handle, and they're really not getting a lot of good swings at him. Only Pat Burrell. Maybe Pat Burrell should be the temporary hitting coach here this afternoon.
He has the only 2 hits for the Giants.
Maybe deputize him or something.
Fouled away. Sanchez is grounded out and popped out. Cardinals get this victory, they will have played 6 games this season against the Giants and split 3-3. They're underway at Los Angeles. The Reds and the Dodgers. Arroyo against Kershaw. Strikeout. Number 4. That's our Hardy's hot pitch of the game.
Sanchez seemed to be looking off speed, and he got a fastball. Looked like it was up in the zone. No, it was a breaking ball. Late break to it. And that was a hard breaking ball. It just barely hit the top of the zone. Sanchez couldn't believe the call, but it was a strike. And Mr. Garcia continues to mow through these Dodger hitters.
Buster Posey has lined out and grounded out. Fouled into the seats.
You know, we can give credit to the Cardinal offense for what they've done today with the 12 hits, Jay, but Jaime Garcia is more than doing his job. Only 17 pitches out of the strike zone, and he's working in the 7th inning.
That's another strikeout. Make it number 5. And the Giants go quickly and quietly. Cardinals lead 8-0. Immediately following today's telecast, stay tuned for the Dave Sinclair Automotive Group Cardinals Game Day Wrap-Up. Enjoy the Cardinal highlights from today's action and insight into the game. News Channel 5, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
How about that? Easy to be restful when you've got a nice lead.
Craig this afternoon had fly to right. He homered in the 4th. Right out to center field in the 5th. That homer in the 4th, his 2nd of the season, a 2-run shot. Fouls it away. Craig, Garcia, and Ryan here in the bottom of the 7th. The Redbirds leading 8-0. Have out-hit the Giants 12-2. Giants have not left anyone on base. A couple of double plays to erase the 2 hits by Pat Burrell. It's high. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And into right.
I think we've seen the stabilizing effect of having a good defense the last couple of days here. Really no errors in this entire series for the Cardinals. But with Feliz now at third base, you've got Lopez in the right position. You've got him and Schumacher kind of manning the second base position. And I think the defense has just been outstanding in this series, and that helps make everything else better.
Out into right center. And that Scherholtz making the play out there. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Garcia struck out in the third and in the fourth, singled and scored in the fifth. Jaime has had himself a terrific afternoon here.
He was given the task of trying to help the Cardinals win this series. Cardinals have lost 3 straight series at home. And a win today would give him a 2-1 edge on the Giants, and Garcia has responded the way you'd hope that he would.
Well, you know, he showed us some wonderful performances early on. But I'm trying to think, Rick, I don't know when I've seen him any better than this.
I agree.
He has been something. Nice play by Sandoval. That'll do for Garcia.
Perhaps the worst thing that Garcia has done is raise the temperature of Tony La Russa and maybe his heartbeat a little bit by going from first to third on a base hit with a 6-run lead. But other than that, Tony La Russa has had to feel pretty good about every aspect of his team's play here this afternoon.
And he made the decision to put Brendan Ryan in the leadoff slot, as Ryan had that terrific batting average against Zito.
Here's a good look at the remaining schedule for the Cardinals. A lot of games on the road. Cardinals with just 1 off day, and you look at some pretty tough teams in there, and the Padres and the Atlanta Braves. Colorado Rockies will be tough at the end of the season. Cincinnati Reds, that series in September here. But there's a lot of ats up there, which means it's a lot of road games for the Cardinals. Again, very few off days, only 1 off day in the month of September left. And that would be September 2nd. And I'm going to be very curious to see how the Cardinals handle Yadier Molina during that time. Tony La Russa loves to have him behind the plate every night. He's so important for his pitchers. That little trifecta you have with the pitcher and the catcher and Dave Duncan preparing for every game, and you throw a young kid into that, and I don't think he likes it quite as much. But with the few off days, when does Yadi get to rest?
He may not get to rest. It's a tough deal, isn't it?
I believe he's caught every game since the All-Star break except 1.
That's right. 3 balls and a strike. The walk to Ryan, his average up to 228. Follow the Cardinals on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010. It features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. For more information, visit Cardinals.com today. Tony's got to be pleased, and I think Cardinal fans are pleased to see Ryan going so well. Here's John Jay. On the day, he's grounded out, walked and scored, singled, on 2 occasions in the 4th and the 5th, and picked up an RBI in the 5th, and his batting average at .358.
And that walk by Ryan means that just 1 inning that the Cardinals gone down 1-2-3.
And this will send Ryan to third. Jay thought about going for second. Schierholtz did a good job of getting to that ball. It looked like it might have gotten to the wall.
Very well hit by John Jay. A pitch up in the strike zone from Ramirez. Trying to get up and in, and it gets out over the plate. And good extension from John Jay. Perfect timing. He lifts that front leg. We talked about Jose Cruz earlier. That's part of his timing mechanism, and he got on top of that ball very well and drove it into the gap. You're right. I thought that ball would go to the wall.
And are we going to have another pitching change? Or, well, this is Dave Righetti, so probably not. Righetti just wants to talk things over with Ramon Ramirez. You know, we're talking about Molina and getting a little rest. You're up 8-0 here. Would you maybe get him out of there these last couple innings? I don't know.
I would imagine Tony is thinking about that right now.
I'm thinking about it, but I don't count.
Yeah, well, one of the problems with Tony thinking about it is 8-0. It might feel like the game is in hand to you and I and to 40,000 people here at the ballpark, but to Tony, the wheels are still turning about who they have on their bench and what if we get a give up a 2-spot next inning and then they get the tying run. And then, I mean, I know, not that he's thinking negatively, but he's preparing against the worst. And he hates to go too soon to that move, but I think it's a good idea.
Here's Albert. Takes it high. Pujols flied to left in the first.
But you also have Jaime Garcia on a roll with Yadier Molina right now. And everything's going so well, do you really want to mess that up?
Albert singled, picked up an RBI, and scored in the third. He intentionally walked in the fourth and grounded out in the fifth. Off the end of the bat, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If Albert hits number 399 of his career, I think that will make that decision a little easier. Albert with a man on third, less than 2 outs. 50% of the time he scored the runner.
And that's high, 2 balls and a strike.
Albert's been very good really all year in maybe a quiet way of being good with runners in scoring position, being good with 2 outs. He just, even when he wasn't going that well, he was much more productive than I think we all realize. One of the top hitters in the National League, in fact, with runners in scoring position.
Foul back below us. At Milwaukee, San Diego leading the Brewers 7-2 in the 7th inning. And Cincinnati has jumped on the Dodgers. It's 2-0 in the first out in Los Angeles. 8-0 here, the Redbirds. 2 on and 2 out, 2-2 the count. The deuces are wild. Full count.
I think about this often when I watch opposing pitchers pitch to Albert Pujols. As the count is now full to him, he's seen everything that Ramirez has. Here's my thought. I would not want to throw this pitch.
He's going to, though. A walk will load the bases. Holiday. 1 for 4 on the afternoon with an RBI. And we're going to go to break because we're going to have a pitching change. The Redbirds are up 8-0. Back with more in a moment. Sponsored by McDonald's.
And Cardinal fans have had a lot to be excited about here this afternoon. Plenty of hits, good pitching, and a great place to be with your friends at the ballpark here at Busch Stadium.
Nothing like fun at the old ballpark, right? And remember to try a new ice blended caramel or mocha frappe now at McDonald's. Fans have had an enjoyable afternoon as we get a look at Santiago Casilla.
Well, we didn't really want to see too much of the Giants bullpen with a lead, but it feels a little bit different seeing these guys with the Cardinals having a 8-0 lead in this game. Casilla's had a nice season. He's actually picked up a couple of saves in the bullpen in support of Brian Wilson like he needs any help. And he has a low earned run average and done a nice job. The Cardinals with the bases loaded. Ryan at third. Jay the runner at second, and Albert Pujols aboard at first base.
Casilla rejoining the team yesterday after missing a couple of games to be with his wife, who gave birth to their second child, a baby boy, this week. Fouled away.
I'm so glad, by the way, that baseball has, let's just say, they've wised up to that reality. There were many years ago, players could not leave to go be with their families, or in bereavement situations, that's become something that a lot of players will take time off if a family member, close family member, passes. And I'm just glad that they've worked that into the basic agreement. It just seems to be more human.
Well, I don't know whether it was Curt Flood or who it was, but back in the old days, many players felt like they were in slavery. They really did.
And the players obviously have come a long way from that.
Yep.
But just the sensitivity to how long the season is for a pitcher like this to be able to be with his wife, and just, you know, that's a moment that maybe a little bit more important than his baseball career.
Absolutely. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 97-mile-an-hour pitch there from Casilla. How small that glove is, Rick. Like an infielder's glove, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not real big.
Holiday hanging in here.
I always thought the bigger the glove, the better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
more opportunity for self-defense.
That's right.
There was a Pro BP model that I used from Rawlings for years, and it had a little extra webbing, almost like an outfielder's glove. Outfielders have a longer glove. Infielders have the smaller glove.
Strikeout. Cardinals strand 3 after 7. 8-0 St. Louis. Third inning where the Cardinals got the lead and went from this to a big score.
Brendan Ryan with a double with one out, a big hit, but Albert's base hit. Then Matt Holliday follows with another RBI base hit. Cardinals pick up 3 runs on 3 hits. A sacrifice fly by Felipe Lopez scored the 3rd run of that inning. It brings Albert home. And the Cardinals answered with 2 more in the 4th, 3 more in the 5th. But Brendan Ryan and Albert Pujols, big hits to get things going in that 3rd inning against Barry Zito. Clearly different kinds of players, Brendan Ryan and Albert Pujols.
Yes.
Very different players, but both bring something unique to this Cardinal team.
Both have their share of intensity about playing the game. That's one thing they've got in common.
I would agree.
2 balls and no strikes to the Giants offense this afternoon. Pat Burrell, he has their 2 hits.
And it's interesting. I think of a guy like Garcia as being a pretty intense pitcher, too. He just doesn't show it the same way.
Lopez, 1 away. Out of Chavez Ravine, they're now in the top of the 2nd. And the Red Stockings lead the Dodgers 2-0. That was slated to be Arroyo against Kershaw.
We're going to be doing a lot of scoreboard watching over the remaining 41 games. And the Reds have some difficult road games as well. We talked about how often the Cardinals will be on the road. The Reds will go not only back to here to St. Louis to play, but they go on to Colorado. They play San Diego tonight, in a road series.
Tonight they go into San Francisco for 3 against these Giants.
And not easy to play there.
No. And of course, I mentioned earlier, Pittsburgh defeated the Mets today in Pittsburgh 2-1. And although the Pirates are pathetic, you can't in any way, shape, or form let your guard down. And the Cardinals have got to get into Pittsburgh and get the job done.
Well, they may be pathetic, but they're pathetic big leaguers.
That's right. The attendance today, 42,638. A magnificent afternoon in downtown St. Louis. Swing and a miss. The 6th strikeout for Jaime, and he has struck out 3 of the last 4.
And as much fun as Garcia is having, we'll look at that last pitch again. Yadier Molina has to be having just as much fun. Garcia's hitting his spots. Molina's putting the right fingers down, and we talked earlier about giving Yadi some rest. I believe he might fight the manager if he tried to take him out of this game.
He might.
You know, he probably wouldn't win that fight, but you know, as tired as he may be, with all the catching and all the innings he puts in, and again, a catcher, you know, I know you got all off season to rest. That's in fact the saying that players talk about. But for a catcher, it's different because you are so much more involved in everything that goes on. Every single pitch, you're throwing it back, you're squatting down for that long. I mean, I couldn't do that.
It is the most taxing position in the game. No question about that.
And that's why we're concerned more about the rest of Molina than you would be a shortstop or a third baseman or a right fielder.
Pablo Sandoval has flied to right and grounded out.
This will be pitch number 80.
Ryan throws on. They're down 1-2-3. Redbirds 8, Giants nothing. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Window World, a proud sponsor of Cardinals baseball, and by Toyota. There are many reasons to buy a Toyota, and now is the perfect time to get yours during Toyota's National Clearance Event. Felipe Lopez, the switch hitter, has struck out, picked up an RBI on a sac fly, walked and scored, stole a base, and singled.
And this is not a perfect game that Jaime Garcia has going in the strictest sense, but I would say that it's nearly perfect. He's faced the minimum through 8 innings with the 2 double plays, and perfect because of the timing of this outing and how important it is for the Cardinals to kind of get some more momentum going into this road trip. Just a tremendous outing for Garcia.
Balls and no strikes. And that's wide. Right down the middle.
Been a lot of talk about the innings creeping up on Jaime Garcia after his injury, and should we rest him a little bit? He got a lot more rest before his last start just because of off days, but this is the first time all season long that he's gone 8 innings.
Very encouraging performance, no question about that. Kyle Loesch will make his 11th start of the season and second since coming off the DL in Pittsburgh tomorrow. He'll be opposed by Ross Ohlendorf. Ohlendorf is 1-10 on the year.
So a career high in innings for Jaime Garcia. No walks in this game. And I think we both think he's even getting stronger as the game goes on, Jay.
He's had 6 strikeouts. The Tuesday pitching pairing in Pittsburgh, Adam Wainwright against Paul Mahone. And then it'll be Westbrook against Karstens on Wednesday. 3 night games in Pittsburgh and then into Washington to take on the Nationals and down to Houston for returning. And there's the walk. Are you a Facebook fanatic? Become a fan of News Channel 5 on Facebook. Simply look up KSDK or link to us by clicking on the Facebook icon on your KSDK.com homepage. Share your views, the latest news and stories about St. Louis, on air or online. News Channel 5 is where the news comes first. Pedro Feliz this afternoon with a single, a ground out. Fly to center field and a pop out.
The only other game that we might say was just as good as this one for Garcia is the 7-inning 1-hit game he had against the Mets, which we remember as the 20-inning game.
Oh, yeah.
That was against Santana, and that made that game memorable. But Garcia was phenomenal in that game as well. But, you know, again, later in the season, he's gone 8 already, and
the Dodgers have picked up a run in the bottom of the 2nd and are still batting. It's 2-1 Cincinnati out in Los Angeles.
There's good news.
Catches the inside corner. Casilla is the 5th pitcher of the afternoon for the Giants. Puts that one in there, 2-2. It was 98 on the gun. Houston beat Florida 2-1. Atlanta leading at Chicago 9-3. Philadelphia 4-0 over Washington in Philadelphia, and it's raining. They've stopped play. Raining in Boston again. I guess they've never been able to get going in Boston. Atlanta now leads 13-3 at Chicago. And a single to the left side. Felice with 2 more hits. Batting over .400 in his first 3 days with the Cardinals. Tonight on News Channel 5, NFL preseason action. The Vikings take on San Francisco. And the Vikings, of course, have Brett Favre back with them for his 20th record-breaking NFL season. The Vikings and the 49ers. Preseason action tonight at 7 on News Channel 5. Two on, no outs. Molina has walked, singled and scored, doubled and scored, picked up an RBI. Got his average up to 257. Fouls it off.
And you know what Rennie's going to ask us on the postgame, which of our guys that we picked to have a good offensive performance, who did better? But I think it's kind of a toss-up, Jay. I just want you to get ready for that question. Your guy's 2 for 5.
Right.
Pedro Feliz, and he's been outstanding at third. Felipe Lopez is 1 for 2, but he's been on base 3 times, scored a run, sacrificed fly.
I couldn't argue.
You did say
way.
both. You did say both would be better.
Yeah, both would be better. I did. Well, this has been a very, very big game for the Cardinals. No question about it. It's a game they had to win, I think, here today. And it sends them off on this road trip coming up against 3 teams that are inferior. And let's hope the Cardinals can be superior.
Well, you always have to be careful when you're a player or a coach or a manager when you use the term must win, because if you lose, that sets you up for just total devastation.
That's right.
And it's very difficult to rebound from that. So you don't want to say must win. Now, in Tony's case, he says must win every day, so that you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
But I think as a player, there are days where you realize, it's pretty important that we do get something done today.
Here's a double play ball, I would assume. Look out now. It is a double play, and we've got Lopez down there at third. The double play goes 4-3-6, and it's time to revisit Rick's keys to the game.
Well, the Cardinals have really followed these keys today, that's for sure. Garcia needed to have a good start. He's had more than that. 8 innings, just 2 hits. He's really been charged with keeping the momentum going. Getting to Zito early, that also happened. 3 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth. And keeping Brian Wilson sitting in that bullpen, we've seen everybody else but him. So that means the Cardinals got the lead and kept it.
Alan Craig has flied out 3 times. The other time he flied out to the seats. A 2-run home run in the fourth.
A lot of distance.
Over 382 feet. 1 ball and no strikes. Lopez down there at third. 8-0 Redbirds. Fouled off. They're into the 3rd inning now at Los Angeles with the Reds leading 2-1. Popped out into short center, and it's going to drop. And it's 9-0. 3 RBIs this afternoon for Alan Craig.
Things have gone the Cardinals' way today. This ball not hit hard, but well placed in front of the center fielder Roan, who had to play deep for Alan Craig. And how about the round of applause for Jaime Garcia? They're on their feet here.
Tremendous appreciation from Cardinal Nation for Jaime's performance here this afternoon.
They're still standing.
Yep. This is great, isn't it? Baseball's best fans have not been disappointed today.
They gave him a standing ovation through his time walking from the on-deck circle to the plate through the first 2 pitches of this at-bat. Some of them haven't stopped.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you know, Jay, I think that applause is about not just what he's done today, but what he's done all year long.
Oh, boy. He showed us how good he could pitch in spring training, and he kept it going. Wonderful story. Lowe, young man from Mexico, grew up in Texas. Mature beyond his years. Pleasant performance here in the 2010 season for Jaime. And the strikeout. But the Redbirds pick up another run. 8 innings have been played. 9-0 St. Louis. Ball on News Channel 5, brought to you by Bud Light, a sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center, a proud sponsor of Cardinals baseball. Some changes here as Garcia is back on the mound. We've got Wynn out in left field. Miles is at second base, and Lopez has moved over to first. And Yachty is still behind the plate. Juan Uribe. Right back. Whoa, hello.
Oh, wow. From that kind of day for Jaime Garcia.
Look what I got. What a stop that was. Terrific reaction.
And a well-hit ball, too.
Cardinal announcer Cutter and Buck Apparel is provided courtesy of Ad Creations. Contact Ad Creations for all your promotional products and apparel needs. If you want people to remember your name, remember ours. www.adcreations.com. Eli Whiteside has struck out and grounded out.
Still throwing 93 miles an hour. The good movement of Garcia. Sharp breaking ball. Good change of speed. In sync with Molina.
Another 1-3 out. Time to announce our Budweiser player of the game.
And not a hard choice.
Garcia. No,
yeah.
Not hard at all. Huh?
Easy choice. He's got a chance here to face the minimum through 9 innings. Has a chance to throw less than 90 pitches in doing it. And the only one standing in his way is Nate Schierholtz.
Schierholtz first time at bat. Lines it past Miles at second base. The third hit of the game for the Giants. Aaron Rowan will come to the dish. She's grounded out twice and popped out. These fans are on their feet here. They've been standing ever since Garcia came out to bat. And now they're just still standing and applauding. Low for ball one. Ball and 1 strike, and they're roaring on every pitch, aren't they?
They're willing Garcia to get his first career shutout.
Just outside. Fly ball into right. Headed over into the seats.
He is now at 88 pitches. And he's 1 strike away from his first career shutout. And the fans have been so into this game really since pitch 1. Looking to get rewarded here.
Down to third. The force at second. Embraces Garcia. A wonderful win for the Redbirds. (9-15-0) for the Cardinals. 0-3-0 for the Giants. We'll be back with more right after these messages.